Hi guys, in the last lecture we see what are if statements and how to use it. Now move forwards, and in this lecture we talk about loops. Loops are very important and very handy when you write programming language. First, in this lecture we talk about what is for loop, and while loop we discuss in the next lecture. For loop is used for repetitions of certain blocks in a specific time. For example, I go to here and write things from scratch, and I write here scripts. After this, the structure of for loops, I write here for, and if I press enter, so now you see all the things here, but first I remove these and make it from scratch. The basic structure of for loops: first we have a variable and initialize it with any number. I initialize it with 0, means our for loop is start from 0. That is our initializing a variable. After this we make the condition. Condition here, I write here I is less than 5. That means if I is less than 5, then it prints certain things that in this block. So first I initialize it with 0, and after this I have a semicolon that is separate. This is our initialization. After this is our condition, and we separate it with semicolon. As after this we have a increments, means we increments 1. First, our variable is 0. After increments, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And when it's 5, its condition is false. So if I write here I plus plus, that is incrementation of 1 in 0. If I write here alert and print I, save it and now reload. So now you see this is our 0 because our first variable initialization with 0. When our program runs, its first variable is 0 and it checks the condition. If 0 is less than 5, the condition is true, then it goes to into this block and it prints the I, and now the value of I is 0. After printing I, it goes to this incremental, and now its value is 0, and after the incrementation its value is now 1 because it increments the value of 0 plus 1 down. Now its value is 1, and now let's check again the condition. 1 is less than 5, the condition is true, then it prints another thing. If I click on OK, so now you see it prints 1 because if still a condition is true. After this, its condition is 2 and 2 is less than 5, its condition is true, then it prints 2. If I click on OK, so now you see here the print is 2. And after this, after 2, its increments 1, and that is 3, and 3 is less than 5, condition again true, and it goes to its function block. And if I click on OK, so now you see 3 is printing because 3 is less than 5 and that condition is true. And when it's 3, now it goes to 4, and 4 is less than 5, condition also true, and if I click on OK, so now this condition is true and 4 is alert. When it's 4, after 4 it goes to increment. Now it increments is 5, and 5 is less than 5, that condition is false because 5 is equal to 5, not less than 5. That is why it not goes to in this block and it's terminate here and programs end. If you click on OK, so now you see our alert is removed because its condition is now false and our for loop is here. So that is the basic structure and basic working of for loop. But what are the benefits of for loop? If I go to here and I write here console dot log and print of I, now you see more clear way. I go to inspect and go to console. Now what happened here, because console.log of I, now we print of I here. Now you see our value is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is print because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our 5 value is printed and ended here with 4 because our value start from 0. That is why it's had total 5 value, but it prints 0 because 0 is included. If I 1 here and now our 3 value, our 4 values here that start from 1, 2, 3, 4, but not 5 because here our condition is if I is less than 5. If I write here equal to, now what happened? Reload it and now you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our 5 value is printed because now our condition is equal to 5. So if I start from here and I write here 3, 3, and now I reload it. So now you see it starts from 3, means our first variable initialization is where we start our loop is 3. Now it prints from 3, 3, 4, 5. If I write here 10, now it starts from 3 and ends here 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. If I remove is equal to, now you see it prints from 9 because our last 10 is now excluded, because if our value of I is less than 10, it prints all of these. And if I write here is equal to, now you see our printing 10 is also here. So what if I decrement here? If I now this is ascending adder, and if I print descending adder, what would you do? If I write here 10 and print it here for 1, now our loop start from 10 and end it here 1, but here in increment we write here minus minus, that is decrement of I, because first value of 10, then it decreases by 9, and after 9 then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 5, 3. And if I reload it, here, what, nothing is happened. So if I is greater than, we write here I is greater than or equal to 1. So I reload it. So now you see 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5 till 1 have printed here in descending order, because the value of I is first 10 and after 10 it prints 10. After go to here and now it's go to this decrement, and here our value is 9. 9 is greater than or equal to 1, that condition also true, and this print here. It prints until the 1 is equal to 1. After the 1 is equal to 1, it prints here 1. After the 1, it decrements to 0, and 0 is greater than 1, that is not condition is true, that is why it does not print and our programs and for loops are terminate. So that is the increment and decrement in for loop. Now what is the benefit of for loop? Suppose if I here to comment out this and I write here console dot log and I print here this is the first class, and I print it out many times. I write here 2 times and then 3, 4, 5. Now I print it 5 times. If I save it and reload, so now this is print 5 times. But if I have an error and I write here second class instead of first class, so what would I do? I go to here one by one and change all of these second, second, second. That is a time consuming and our code is repeated many times. So for this we use here for loop. For loop, in for loop we implement the conditions how many times our code is printed. So instead of this, we use here for loop. This is our first 5 lines. If I have hundred of lines and thousands of lines of codes, and I remove all of these one by one, that's taking much time, and our code is repeated. That is not in use programming language. So I remove this. Now in for loop, I again commenting out here, and now I write here 1 and till the 10. Now this time is greater than, and I increment it again, and here console.log, I simply write here this is first class. Now if I save it and reload, now it prints to 10 times of our this for loop. You see here 10 times. Now if I remove here first to second, and I only change it once, and if I reload, so now this is 10 times second change. So that is the benefit of for loop. We change only at once and all the conditions are changed. So that is the benefit of for loop. We use for loops in many different ways. So in the next lecture we talk about while loops, and in the next lectures we implement for loop in a practical way. So here we end this lecture. Please like the video and subscribe our channel and hit the bell icon. Thanks for watching.